Welcome back, everybody. This is Mike over at Triple D, and today we are back with another resort room tour. Today we are staying over at Disney's Polynesian Resort. We're here to check out the newly refurbished Moana themed rooms that they have completed, I guess probably about a month and a half ago now. It's Labor Day weekend, and I'm starting here. It might look a little odd. I'm actually out on the balcony of our room, and the reason is because we scored this awesome view. I can't wait to see the fireworks tonight, but yes, that is Magic Kingdom and Cinderella Castle standing right out over in the distance. So awesome. So fortunate to get, a lucky upgrade, I guess. One of the perks, I'd say, of staying at Disney World over Labor Day, because we just generally don't see a lot of crowds. And that's kind of how it's been for the last 3-4 years that we've been coming here. So anyway, enough about that. Let's go inside and check out the room. Real quick before we go inside the room, I did want to show you kind of the hallway and kind of how they refurbed this a little bit. So you kind of see the rug or the carpet in here is new. They've got these fun little murals of fish. And again, you can kind of see some of the Maui tattoos and shapes from Moana, the waves kind of cresting over. It's definitely a nice kind of blending of Disney theming, Disney IP. Out here looks like it works really, really well. So now let's go inside. And we always like to take these for posterity if you're ever wondering. We were in room 3503. We were in the Hawaii building. Okay, let's go inside and see what this guy looks like. Now let's talk a little bit about the rooms. So they sleep 5. You can see the 2 beds here, and then you've got the couch that will flip over into a single bed. I'll show you that here in a little bit. Beyond that, each of the longhouses, and that's kind of what they call them here, the buildings are called longhouses. They have 3 floors. On the bottom, you're going to have a walkout patio. On the second floor, it's kind of like a fake balcony, so there's not actually an area to walk out onto. You can just kind of look out, and then on the 3rd floor you actually have a real balcony, and again you'll see it more. I kind of showed it in the intro of the video, but you'll see it more here in a little bit. Now to me, the first thing that really jumps out when you see this room is the pops of color in the little kind of bolsters that are on the bed, and then the themes, the light touches of Moana, Maui, Polynesian culture references are just fabulous. I mean, like, you look up over here, so you can see the heart of Te Fiti from Moana up in the top of the headboard. You see all those things, the intricate, fine kind of carvings in the headboard. I'm sure they probably weren't hand carved. This is Disney. They were probably mass produced, but just beautiful. I love the look of it. The pops of color that kind of stand out from it, like the headboard, fabulous. We got this great portrait here of Moana and Pua sitting down there kind of by her side. It's just nice. It fits with the room. It fits with the resort. It's just really well done. It's kind of awe-striking to me, honestly. And then you've got the wallpaper that runs around the kind of the back wall where the TV is here that you can see. And again, you just see great elements of Moana, Maui, all these things that just make it kind of blend nicely, but I don't feel like it's thrust in your face and like over the top. It is subtle. It fits the resort. I mean, I can't probably say this enough. It fits the resort. It fits the entire atmosphere here. Really well done. The color scheme is definitely this interesting blending of pops of color and more muted tones. Kind of like down here on the dresser and the marble countertop. It almost strikes me as, they're trying to kind of show you sand. So you have sandy tones here, complemented by tones of kind of water, I guess I'll say. It's not exactly water, but It's kind of like the beach in my mind, and maybe Disney wasn't going for that, but that's kind of what it invokes, at least in my mind. And it feels very beachy, very in tune with the resort as a whole. And if you are wondering, the beds are 2 queen beds, so they give you ample room generally. I don't have any problem sleeping in one of them with one of the girls. But if you like king beds and those types of sizes, then this is not going to be the room for you. But there are some single bed kings that are available, so you can check those out when you're trying to make reservations. And once again, subtle touches that just blend the resort, its theme for now 40 to actually 50 years. It'll be 50 years come October 1st. And as you can see in this lampshade, you have all sorts of Moana touches. Characters from it: Pua, Moana, Hei, Maui, Tafiti, the angry coconut guys. I always forget what they're called. I mean, it is just really well done. And it's not over the top. Again, not over the top. Really well done. And then you can see in the curtains here, again, pops of color, some kind of more muted tones, touches of the Moana movie. I think this is some of the best resort overhaul that we've seen, in my opinion at least, in a long while. And the rooms here were nice. They actually were really nice before. We were here, 2 years or maybe 3 years ago now. And you can even see here in the lamp that's in the center of the room, not over the top, just nice subtle tones that kind of invoke the movie. Everything's all in line with it, but not over the top. And I'd be remiss if I didn't point out the fact that the beds are the beds that we see in most resorts these days, where there's room underneath them. Not great light here, but room underneath them to store your luggage, so you're not kind of trying to figure out where to put and hide all of your suitcases once you get unpacked. From a technology-ready perspective, these rooms, not surprising, are the most up-to-date, and so what you'll find is a couple of standard plugs. This is the nightstand that's kind of between the 2 beds. And interestingly, you have a regular USB port, but they actually have a USB-C port, which is what a lot of phones are going to these days. This is a really handy kind of change. I'm glad that they made that. I hadn't seen that in any of the videos I'd watched in sort of researching this before. But you can see it there. You got one there. I assume they'll be in the other ports as I kind of look through the room. It's going to be a great convenience as more and more of the technology goes the way of USB-C connections. All right, so check this out. I was kind of looking at this, handle here on the bed, and I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. It actually looks like it moves. So I grabbed it, and watch. Look at that. It's a light, a reading light. It's one of the great kind of battles that I have with Carla, or whoever I might be sharing the bed with, usually Elsa, of having a light on while I try and wind down for the evening and they're trying to go to bed. And I usually have to have a lamp or something. And look at this. This is genius. Nice and worked into the wood. It fits the tone, but great function. I'll be able to actually read and do something in the middle of the night when I wake up invariably. So that's awesome. Great touches. Now this is I say a pull-out bed. It's not a pull-out bed in the way you think. Obviously, if you kind of look at the amount of room between these 2 beds, this won't pull out into its own queen. But what it will do is fold down on its own. So let me show you how easy it is. So let me move this pillow. Love the pops of the color in here and the sea turtles. It does take actually 2 hands to pull it down. You can't do it with just one like you can do in some of the other beds that pull down like this. But as you can see, it's designed for one. This is the type of bed that usually Anna or Elsa will sleep in, so that they're not all rolling around and kind of hitting all each other. Elsa's quite the tosser and turner, and that doesn't let Anna sleep very well. So you can kind of get in this. Here, let me go ahead and see if I can't lay down in this and see how big it is. Hi, how you doing? Okay, so I'm laying in the bed now. As you can see, my head is kind of touching right up on the very top of the side of the couch where I'm laying, and then my feet are touching right at the very bottom. I'm 6'1", so fairly tall, If you're probably under 6 foot, you know, I think sleeping in this bed wouldn't be a problem. I actually think I could sleep in this bed because I don't sleep completely stretched out like this. So it would be all right. I'd just say the bed is a bit firm, so you probably want to like that. If you're looking for a bed that feels like you're about to fall through it, this is not the bed for you for sure. But, you know, like I said, we use this generally for one of the kids to sleep in, and they don't have a problem with that at all. If you've got kids with you, you've got a third kid, and you're looking for room for 5, this bed will serve your purposes just fine. Now the room does come with a little single Keurig. I assume in the drawer, yep, you got all the kind of coffee makings. You got your K-cups, some cups to put everything in, a little coffee mate, sweetener, pretty much everything that I think you probably need to make yourself a little cup of coffee should you choose. And then underneath you will find a refrigerator. So not a giant fridge, but definitely one where if you want to have a few things in here, you could even probably fit a gallon of milk if you pull the shelf out. If you need that quantity of milk for a trip here. But it's nice, you know, nice and cool in here. Maybe not as cool as I would like, but you probably just adjust the thermostat if you could see one. Actually, I don't see one in there, but cool enough nonetheless to keep things refrigerated. And then we have a closet. So this looks like for kind of, you know, things that are folded up, shoes, you know, anything else you might want to have. There's a safe in the room, as you can see. And then we've got in here a little hanger area if you want to put a suitcase in here. I've seen some folks do that. That will work well as for you too. And then if you need extra pillows, blanket for the pull-down bed, it is up here in this little bag. Oh, and there are drawers down here, should you want to put anything else in there. And here's another closet with hangers. These go all the way down to the ground. So again, this is all right here in the very front of the room for you to put things in. And if you need, there's a Conair Hospitality handheld steamer, I guess, if you want to steam your clothes, if they need to be pressed well for your trip to the parks. And here is the bathroom. I really like the oil rub bronze. This is kind of the type of fixtures we have at our own house. Really like those. But you see a couple of sinks, got good room. I like the fact that there's room in between the sinks because, you know, with 3 girls in our entourage, you got a lot of room for stuff to pile up on the counter. So that'll give us room. There are a couple of cubbies down here underneath the sink where you can put various sundries that you need in your bathroom. And then here is the shower. Again, those nice muted tones where they're not coming out crazy, but again, you see the touches of the Moana movie throughout the shower. Nice couple of shower heads here. You got the nice rainfall one. I'll be curious what that's like to use. And then this shorter one here that you can take off the handle and sort of use to do your best Ferris Bueller impression. Maybe you'll sing into it like he did. And then they do have a separate toilet room, so that's always helpful. It's got this pocket door on it, so you can close that, and oh, it's got its own self-closing door. That's kind of cool. But you'll have that, so you can be in the toilet, and someone else can be in here. Ooh, it bounces out. Can be in here brushing their teeth or whatever they're doing to get ready or for the day or in the day. But that's what the bathroom looks like. And I'd be really remiss if I didn't take another view of the balcony we have. Again, this view depends on what room type you have. We are staying in the Hawaii area, and we requested a balcony view. And usually, you're not guaranteed a view of the park like this. We actually paid for a lagoon view room, which usually says that you'll have obstructed views potentially of the park, but you may only be able to see the lagoon. We've stayed in a couple of them where you have no view of the park, so we got a little lucky here. Again, probably a perk of staying here over Labor Day when there's not a whole lot of people around. The rooms do have this nice little patio that comes with them. So if you're on the first floor, it's actually walkout patio. But as we're on the balcony, you got this little seating area. Seems like a nice little place to have a cup of coffee. Probably going to watch the fireworks from Magic Kingdom here at some point during our stay. But it's not a giant area. It's probably about 4 feet, 5 feet wide. A couple of chairs, a little place to have coffee, read the paper if you're so inclined. A good way to probably start your day. So we've wrapped up our stay at the Polynesian Village Resort. We stayed here for 4 nights, and we wanted to kind of conclude the video with our thoughts. I feel like many videos out there on YouTube leave you with a lot of tours, but no one actually really stays in the rooms because they're all locals and they don't want to pay for it or whatever the case may be. But in any case, we love this room. The beds were actually very comfortable for us. They weren't too firm, which is sometimes an issue I have. I travel quite a bit for work, and you come across hotels with firm beds. That's not for me. They weren't like marshmallows either, the mattresses, but I thought they were fairly good. The rainfall shower was excellent. Really enjoyed that. You know, the one probably thing that I was a bit disappointed in was those headboard lights, the reading lights that were on there. When it was dark inside the room and you turned one of those on, it was incredibly bright, like crazy bright. They were not usable because they kept the girls up, and Anna and Elsa were complaining it was too bright, and just I wish they had maybe a dimmer on them, but I couldn't figure out how to make them dim. They just kind of seemed either on or off was the only options. But beyond that, the view was awesome. Is it worth the price you pay for a theme park view? Probably not. I'll link up here into the cards to the video we took of the fireworks from our balcony, though, if you want to see that. But beyond that, love the room. We love this resort. It is one of our favorite resorts in all of Disney World, and we definitely highly suggest staying here if you're so inclined to. Definitely the best resort on the monorail loop around Magic Kingdom, in our opinion at least. So with that, we'll go ahead and wrap this review up. If you enjoyed this review, please give it a like, share it with people you think might find it useful. Also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It helps us grow. You'll be able to see our content. Make sure you hit the notification bell. We try and put out content like this every week. If you got questions about the room or the resort, let us know. We actually have a resort tour coming here in the next probably week or so. We appreciate you watching. If you got questions, we do respond to questions. Leave a question down in the comment, and we'll get back to you. And we thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time.